Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing part 2 of my Q&A of questions that you guys have asked me since my divorce. And shout out to the co-host. She's complaining, so she may not be with us for the entire video. She's getting antsy. So Nat Rom, hey Nat Rom, asks, what lessons has your divorce and the pandemic taught you? Personally, I think that the pandemic taught me that I really am a homebody. And I apologize for this, but since the restrictions have been lifted, not much has really changed in my vlogs. I find pleasure in being at home. I love my home. I love being home. I love decorating my home. I love making my home feel comfortable, and I love hanging out with Marley, and I love hanging out with the people who are close to me, which normally you guys see Keisha and Half, and my mom is down the street, so I go see her every now and then, but that's pretty much it, y'all. I know I'm a boring old vlogger. I apologize. What has my divorce taught me? Well, my divorce, going through the process of divorce actually taught me that I am far more capable than I give myself credit for. You know, when I first found out that my husband was, a serial cheater and all of the infidelity came to light, I was devastated is the only word that I can really use to describe it, because I don't know how to describe the feeling of being cheated on. I think that you know if you've experienced it. Like, I was literally a mess. I did have my friends and I did have my family and I did have you guys, which you guys were an immense help to me, but I had to acknowledge to myself that I needed somebody who was far removed from the situation, an unbiased person to talk to who was also a licensed professional. So I personally chose therapy. My social anxiety really prevents me from going and sitting on anybody's couch face to face. So I used an app called BetterHelp. Before we get any further, I would like to thank the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that allows you to conveniently access licensed therapists from your phone, tablet, or computer. I personally found it incredibly easy to use. When you first sign up, you answer a questionnaire, enter some of your preferences, and it will match you to a licensed therapist that is suitable for you. And they have a ton of professionals on there who specialize in different areas such as, self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and issues specific to the LGBTQ plus community. Once you're matched with your therapist, you can set up your choice of how you prefer to communicate, whether it's messaging, live chat, or video chat. You can use this platform for as long or as little as you want. You can cancel at any time. As we wrap up May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, I will definitely link BetterHelp in the description box so that you can take advantage of it if you are interested as well. And thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of today's video. So going through that process of therapy along with, the pandemic really taught me a lot about myself. And we've lost Marley. Moving right along. Zuri. Shout out to Zuri. Assalamu alaikum, Toni. Will you ever get another goldfish? By the way, I recently purchased a snake plant. I named her Matilda. And as always, be blessed. Wa alaikum salam. Will I ever get another goldfish? I don't know, maybe. I didn't love the whole, cleaning the tank process, but it has been on the back of my mind because I have a perfect spot in the kitchen for him, and we spend a ton of time in the kitchen, so he would always be in company. But I don't know, I'm still 50-50 on getting another fish. Natural Bee Style says, what did the pandemic and having to isolate teach you about yourself? I answered that in question 1. Yasmin Scott says, hi Toni. Hey Yasmin. I know you have supported sister. However, what are 5 to 10, maybe too many, I would take any amount, but 5 to 10 Canadian products that you prefer and would recommend? Could be anything. Seasoning, chips, drinks, leather. Interesting question. I tend to not say, I think Canadian products are better than American because y'all say you're not patriotic, but y'all be patriotic. Y'all be really defensive. So I tend to not, but if I had to pick one, 5 to 10 is maybe a little bit much for a Q&A. If I had to pick one, I would definitely say, and I will die on this hill, beer. Canadian beer takes the cake. American beer is, like, if you want a good lager, a good IPA, the Canadian breweries are, you know, if you appreciate beer. If not, I mean, you can stick to whatever. Happy in Seattle. Hey girl. Says OG subscriber here. Working for yourself has its pluses and minuses. Definitely, I agree with that. Have you considered returning to a corporate job instead of working for yourself? Honestly, you know what, guys? I have not considered returning to the corporate world. I hope to be able to work for myself as long as I can, as long as it sustains me. But if I'm being completely honest, there was a moment, I think it was about a year ago, or maybe not even a year ago, last year in the winter/holiday season, where I did consider going back to retail, which I worked retail many, many moons ago when I was in my early 20s, while I was putting myself through school. But you guys, there's this furniture store. There's this furniture store. They have amazing furniture, amazing decor, and I really want that discount. So I'm actually thinking of applying part-time, because they get a decent discount, and you know how I feel about decor nowadays. I pretty much am finished furnishing my home, but I mean, there's always room for decor and accents and stuff like that. Kimberly D. Hey Toni. Hey Kimberly. If you could travel anywhere, a place you have never been before, for a 2-week vacation, where would you go? I think I would actually go for a 2-week vacation to Kenya with Half. Half is originally from Kenya. She always talks about it so fondly, where she's from. She's from Mombasa. And when somebody talks about a place that they love and they're very like nostalgic about it, it makes you also fall in love with that place. So in my mind, I just feel like I would love to go and explore. Plus, she is from there, so I would have, a built-in tour guide who knows the area, knows people, and knows the languages. And so I would definitely go to Kenya for 2 weeks. You know you like it 1000. I love that username. Hey, girl. So she says, Toni, how is the baby boy doing? I think he was born maybe 3 to 4 years ago. I remember you holding and cuddling him. I think he's your friend's son, not a family member, I think. I can't remember, but I hope he's doing well. So you are correct. Good memory and good observation. He was born about 3 or so years ago, was a friend's baby, not a family member. And it's a friend that I no longer speak to, so I have no idea how he's doing. Karen says, are you still planning to big chop? I feel like this is my most frequently asked question. I answer it in every Q&A. About 3 years ago, when I found out that my husband was cheating on me, I was under extreme stress. The way my body responds to stress is by my hair falling out and my body shedding weight. So I lost about 30 pounds in a month, and my hair was coming out in huge clumps. So I was devastated, and I was just like, I have to shave my head. So that was my plan, was to shave my head. And then the pandemic hit, so all the salons shut down. Now where I live in Ontario, we've been in and out of restrictions over the last 2 years. We are finally reopened again. So I do have access to salons. However, my hair has recovered. So will I do a big chop? Yes, probably at some point. Do I have immediate plans for it? No, but as soon as I decide to, I will let you guys know. Morning song. Hello. Do you still plan to shave your head? If so, when? I answered that previously. Has COVID-19 affected your business profits? What are your personal financial goals? Do you want your current home to be your forever home? Okay, so quite a few questions. Has COVID-19 affected your business profits? COVID-19 has affected every single type of business in every avenue in every country in the world. So that would include me, yes. What are my personal financial goals? I will share with you my toxic trait. My toxic trait is not asking for help. I just cannot do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. I will literally be living under a bridge before I ask anybody for help. So my financial goal is and has always been to be self-sustaining, like to be able to financially support myself without relying on a partner or anybody else. Plus, the way the economy and the world is set up, it is not designed for single people to prosper, let alone get by, y'all. Like, I mean, just applying for a mortgage, for example, on a single income as opposed to a dual income is extremely difficult. I did do it, but it is a difficult process. If you want a gym membership, it's always cheaper for the family pass. If you want to go to Applebee's, they got two can dine. Like, it's just always cheaper to be part of a unit or family. In the traditional sense, because I am part of a unit and a family, but in the traditional sense, you know what I mean, I'm single. So for that reason, I just want to be able to live my life without being dependent on anybody else, and that's always been my financial goal. I'm very independent. Oh, do I want my current home to be my forever home? Okay, you're asking really good questions. This is also another very interesting question. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the term forever home is not a term that I heard until American TV. Like, nobody in real life uses that term. Not my family, not my friends. It's just not something that a concept that I grew up with. And I just think it's a little bit of an odd thing to ask, particularly somebody who's 40. Assuming that I live, let's knock on wood, an average lifespan. You're asking me if I want to live in this house for the next 45 years and then die in it? Girl, I don't know what I want for dinner tonight. Like, I don't know. I love Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines. I think they are super talented as a couple at what they do. But it's so weird to me that they help these young couples. I mean, they work with couples that are as young as in their 20s find forever homes. At 20? Like, you have one baby and you're just deciding that you're gonna die in these four walls? I'm sorry, I just can't answer that question. I've never grew up with that concept that I have to be attached to one physical dwelling for the rest of my life. If either issues or opportunities come up that take me elsewhere, then of course I would go. I'm not attached to any four walls anywhere. So, Cherie Johnson, hey girl, what is next for you in your career? Anything you'd be interested in doing? Yes, of course. I am always interested in growing. I'm a creative, so there's always a ton of ideas up here going off at any given time. However, I will share with you guys, my audience, when the time comes. Simon first. Hey Simon. I don't have too many male viewers, so shout out to you. Are you going to attempt to do another meet and greet? C19 blocks us from the States for attending. I know. No, I don't have any plans on doing a meet and greet. It's definitely not my thing. The way my social anxiety is set up, meet and greets just don't do it for me. But when I do plan on going to events, once I'm comfortable with traveling, outside Canada again, then I'll definitely let you guys know where I'm going to be at. Lavender Ladybug Travels. That's such a cute name. Do you think you will write a book about your life and healing after a painful breakup? I think you have a lot to share that would help many. So I agree with you. I do have a lot to share that would help many. However, that's what I'm doing. If you notice, hey, hi. I'm sharing and I'm helping. My platform and art form of choice is visual content creation, but I'm doing exactly what I would be doing in a book. So I know that vlogging is not a respected art form yet. However, I do believe it is an art form. And if you missed my video on how to heal after a breakup, definitely check it out. I will link it in the cards. TB says, hey Toni. Hey girl. No question. J.Y. Hardy says, you mentioned the divorce was expensive. Were you referring to the cost of the attorney? I know they're expensive in the United States, but I have no clue about attorney costs in Canada. So I did mention this in my divorce story, but divorce is a process. So when I say that the divorce was expensive, I'm referring to everything involved in achieving the final goal, which was divorce. So if I was going to use an analogy, I'm the analogy queen. If I had said moving out of my last house was expensive, that doesn't just refer to the realtor's fees. There's hiring cleaners, there's packing supplies, there's moving trucks, there's first and last, there's disconnection fees and reconnection fees of services and transferring services. There's putting things in storage. There's purchasing new things, new furniture, the cost of eating lunch on the road for days while you're moving. There's the cost of paint or painter, etc. So I'm referring to the entire process, and everybody's moving process is different. So your costs will vary based on, you know, the house, the type of house, the distance, etc. And everybody's divorce story is different. So your costs will vary based on what you have to achieve to get to your final goal. Savannah Davis, hey Savannah, says, hey, weird question. No weird questions, it's fine. Have never seen you prepare or eat fish in your house. Are you guys allergic? No, I actually have prepared fish in my house. I will link my food playlist in the atmosphere. I think I've now prepared every protein for you guys. Beef, goat, fish, chicken. I have vegetarian and vegan dishes, shrimp. So yeah, I've cooked it all. Definitely check out my playlist if you have missed it. Misha Powell, hey girl. Misha Powell says, what is 50-year-old Toni doing? Where's she at? Where has she traveled? Okay, so like what I want to be doing at 50, I'm guessing. What I want to be doing at 50, honestly, same thing I'm doing now. Like I just want to be able to, again, self-sustain, you know, have a roof over my head and food in my belly. I want to still be able to be near and hang out with the people that I love and who mean the most to me. Where has she traveled? Hopefully I've done a bit of traveling by then. I mean, the top places that I always mention I want to go is Jamaica first. I love the Caribbean. I love my people. I love the Caribbean. I love where I'm from. I love the beaches. So Jamaica first. Mexico probably second because I always have the best time in Mexico with my girls. Vegas also. I do eventually want to make it to the States. Vegas, I think, would be an amazing girls trip. I am a little apprehensive about stateside travel. You guys have a lot going on with the whole mass shootings and stuff like that, but I used to go to Vegas all the time and loved it. Kenya, I did mention, so whenever Half is ready to go back home, I definitely think that I will be tagging along with her. And my dream destination, Egypt. I think I really want to just go and look at the Sphinx. So if I can achieve all that by 50, I would say I would be a happy camper. And last question is from Terry's Golden Life Shines. Hey Terry, did the boy ever love you, or was your marriage just a convenience for him? You would probably have noticed that this channel is no longer Toni and the boy. So since this is a question that would be directed at him, you'll just have to ask him. That is no longer any of my business. That's it. Those are all the questions that you guys have for me since my divorce. Thank you so much for everybody who tossed a question my way. I always enjoy answering them. I do have an entire Q&A playlist to show that I do, in fact, enjoy answering your questions. So definitely check it out again if you're curious. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.